Welcome back to Nadia's Notes. I'm so happy to see you. It's such a joy to have you with me. Um, it's another late night in New York. It's beautiful, it's cool, it's not very crowded. Just perfect, perfect. Um, so today I wanted to talk about intuition, trusting your intuition. So, does it ever happen to you that your intuition, some voice or some feeling says to you, don't do that? It happened to me the other day. I was holding a cup and some food on a cutting board, but what happened was it's a folding cutting board. And my intuition said, do not carry it like that. Something can fall. It's not a solid board. And then another voice inside of me was like, oh, what can happen? Well, guess what happened? The board bent, the cup fell and broke, the bagels fell on the floor, the butter fell, the cheese fell, and I had to clean it all up. But here are my takeaways. What is the takeaway? What happened? Well, what happened was that my intuition said to me, be careful, pay attention. This might happen. And what did I do? I ignored it. And everything fell, but there was a good outcome. What was the good outcome? The good outcome was that I realized that I do have a very strong voice that tells me if something is about to happen, if something stressful can happen, if I should pay more attention. And I guess I don't, and I've noticed that for a while, that I don't pay attention, and it just proves it and demonstrates that it was kind of talking to me for a reason. And I'm sure all of you have had it. It's intuition. It's intuition. It says to you, be careful over here, or this might happen. And of course, what's interesting is that what does it say that you don't trust that? Like, what does it say that I don't trust that? It means that I don't trust myself, and it means I don't trust that voice, and it means that there's a disconnect between what I'm noticing and perceiving and could be doing from what I end up doing. And this is not the video to discuss why I didn't pay attention or I didn't take seriously what my intuition was telling me, but I think it is a good idea for us to kind of think about and remember, if you have episodes like that where your intuition tells you something and you chose to ignore it, or maybe not necessarily chose it because it wasn't a choice, it was more an impulse. It was an impulse to ignore it. Does that ever happen to you? And if so, have you found a way, or did that used to happen to you? Have you found a way to work with it or change it? So I kind of, instead of getting upset when this happened, even though, I had to clean up, okay, truth is I was blaming myself a little bit. But also, the other part of it is I took it in the best possible way. And I was like, what actually happened here, right? What am I working with? What am I dealing with? What is the lesson that I could get from this? And the lesson was that I don't trust my intuition. I don't stop for long enough, or I don't take it seriously because I suppose I don't take myself seriously. And I remember this like the first time that this intuition starkly told me to stay away was in college. I saw this young man, and my intuition, it was just so stark. I remember to this day, my intuition said, don't do it, he'll hurt you greatly. But I didn't know what it was. How do you know? You're young, you don't have any experience, and all of a sudden you have this insight, so you doubt yourself and you say to yourself, how would I know? How would I know anything like that? I don't have any information. It was in the first instant that I laid my eyes on him, and it was just so strong, that feeling. Like the moment I saw him, the moment our eyes met, the the thing that happened is the idea was so strong that don't, he will hurt you greatly. Ended up being true, ended up being completely and totally true. But still, even to this day, even though that turned out to be true, turns out that I still don't trust my intuition. And so what I decided is that, and I recommend it to you, next time something like that happens, stop. Just stop and evaluate. Stop, ask yourself, what's happening here? Stop and acknowledge my intuition said something to me. Is it possible that my intuition is correct? And if you stop and evaluate and it turns out that your intuition is correct, then you stop and you follow the intuition. This, I think this could be a really big game changer for me. And what's interesting, I don't know, because how I engage with myself and the world, I think might change drastically as a result of this realization. Because imagine my intuition says something to me and then I follow it, and it turned out to be right. But here's the thing. For example, in this case, how could I know it was right? Until I saw that not following my intuition was wrong. So I guess trust is required, that something good, if you have a warning, the good thing is to heed that warning. You don't need to see and check out and experimentally test your intuition. Intuition is potentially not for that. Intuition is for protection. If you ignore your intuition and instead engage with whatever it is that it was telling you not to engage with, not only you will confirm your intuition, but you will also waste time. And by confirming intuition, by checking out whether it was right or not, you will also experience the negative consequences of not following it. And so let me know if this starts working for you, if you're able to change something or modify and execute, and let me know if following your intuition is going to give you a greater sense of self-trust, right? Because at a deep level, this is an issue of trust. And whether that intuition is the voice of God or the Holy Spirit or just the collective perception congregate of your, senses and analysis performed by your nervous system of the circumstances, doesn't matter as much as what the outcome is. Does that make sense? So, I look forward to trusting myself more, and I look forward to hearing from you whether you were able to use what we talked about in this video to trust yourself more, and how that has affected your ability to trust yourself and feel more secure in the world. Because it could be said that the intuition is warning you. So if you heed your intuition, then you're more likely to have more positive experiences. Because if it's warning you against something that could be troublesome, just like it was in this case, that breakfast ended up on the floor, it took more time, it was stressful, the and it was a pretty small case, right? Like, okay, I can make myself more breakfast, make myself more coffee. The coffee ended up on the floor. I had cream, but it was almost like training wheels for something greater. So this is applicable across the board, and any life situation that's happening where you get information that you don't heed. You get a warning that you don't heed, and then have to see the consequences. And I wish to all of us that tonight, after having watched this video, in the next few days, what we're able to do, or whenever you happen to be watching this video, that what we're able to do is pay a little bit more attention whenever we hear the voice of our intuition. We stop and we say to ourselves what our intuition told us. So, what would I say to myself in this case? Nadia, you just heard, you just noticed that this is a potentially not a safe situation. The board can bend, but maybe not so much the board will bend. But if you take a chance here, the consequences are you will lose your breakfast and you will break a cup, and you know it will take you 20 minutes to clean up. If you pay a little extra attention and make sure that the cup is separate from the uh, board on which it was standing, and you carry the cup separately, even if you have to leave your phone in the kitchen, then you can have breakfast right now. And I think the most kind of interesting realization in all of this is not just the stopping and the kind of talking to yourself is fantastic, but what's even more fantastic is that I don't have, and let me, and do tell me how you experience this, I don't have to test for the bad outcome to know that there was potentially going to be a bad outcome. I can just trust that the warning was leading to a good outcome and choose that direction. What do you guys think of this? I love having you here. If you like my content, please like, please subscribe, please come back. And it's always such a joy to spend some time with you and to share what I think about in my life and my take on all things human. Thank you for being with me, and see you tomorrow. Mwah.